Okay, so if you're a parent in Kleinburg, you know this moment is coming. That moment you hand over the car keys. It's huge. But you also know that learning to drive around here, well, it's not exactly a walk in the park. So let's really get into what it takes to get a new driver ready for the unique challenges of our roads.
Look, the whole system, everything is designed to get your teen to one single goal, passing that G2 road test. But let's just stop and ask a really important question right up front. Is just passing the test the same thing as being safe for a lifetime of driving? That's really the big question we're going to dig into.
First off, let's talk about our own backyard. The historic village in Kleinburg is beautiful, right? But for a new driver, it's a real challenge. We're talking narrow streets, people walking everywhere, and some really tricky sightlines around those old buildings.
Then you pull out of the village and you're immediately on these major arteries. Think about Major Mackenzie, Highway 27, Islington. They're fast, they've got complicated intersections, and they are packed with commuter traffic heading into Vaughan and Toronto.
And finally, you've got the big one, highway readiness. Merging onto the 400, or the 407, or even the 427, with traffic flying by at well over 100 kilometers an hour, that takes a whole different level of skill and confidence that, let's be honest, goes way beyond basic training.
So when you add all that up, the quiet village streets, the busy arterial roads, and the high-speed highways, you realize Kleinburg is this really unique, high-stakes place to learn. It's not just some simple suburb. It's a complex mix that totally justifies any and all of the concerns a parent might be feeling.
But here's a twist. What if the biggest risk isn't just the roads themselves? What if there's a fundamental flaw in how we think about driver training? This brings us to a really important idea called the practice gap. You know, we all assume that if a school is MTO approved, it must be good. But check this out. A 2023 Auditor General's report found that's not always the case. It flagged things like widespread noncompliance and even lessons being cut short. What that tells us is that MTO approval is really just the starting line. It's not the finish line. And this gets us to the absolute heart of the problem, the practice gap. It's this massive difference between the bare minimum hours the government requires and what safety experts say a new driver actually needs to build the skills to be safe on their own.
Just look at these numbers. The MTO minimum for professional in-car training is only 10 hours. 10. But now look at what the research says is needed for total supervised practice, 70 hours or more. That's a 60-plus hour gap. And that gap is exactly where lifelong driving habits, good or bad, get locked in.
Okay, so how do you close a gap that big? Well, one school that the source material focuses on, Young Drivers of Canada, has pretty much built its entire program around solving this exact problem. Their whole approach is called Collisionfree, and the goal here isn't just to teach the rules so you can pass a test. It's all about building proactive, defensive habits. We're talking about learning to spot a potential hazard way before it becomes a real threat, or knowing exactly what to do in an emergency, like how to get back on the road safely if your wheels drop off onto the shoulder of the highway.
So, does it actually work? Well, the data is pretty compelling. According to surveys of their own graduates, almost 97% are either involved in zero collisions or, and this is key, if they are in one, they are not the one at fault. That's a really powerful number.
And it's not just about their own students. An analysis by Aviva Canada found that drivers who go through certified professional training have 26% fewer collisions than drivers who don't. This just goes to show that the type of training you get really matters. And this right here is where the rubber meets the road. More than half of their graduates, 57%, said they actively used a specific skill they learned at Young Drivers to avoid a crash after they got their license. That's not just theory, that's training that directly translates into real-world safety.
So remember that huge 60-hour practice gap we talked about? How do they help with that? A big piece of their strategy is technology. They have this thing called the Driver's Coach app, and it's designed to make all those hours driving with mom or dad more effective. It gives you guided checklists and feedback so that practice time isn't just aimless driving, it's purposeful skill building.
Now, let's be real. Young Drivers isn't the only game in town, and it is positioned as a premium choice, so it costs more. So let's put it side by side with some other local schools to really get a feel for the landscape.
This table really lays it all out. You've got schools like Greenhorn and All Nations that come in at a much lower price point, and for a lot of families, that's a huge factor. They provide the standard MTO-approved curriculum. The trade-off really is what you get beyond that bare minimum. YDC's higher price is tied directly to that proprietary collision-free system and, importantly, the safety data they have to back up its effectiveness. So at the end of the day, the decision really boils down to this: value versus price. On one side, you have schools that will absolutely get you licensed by needing the basic MTO requirements, and they do it for a lower upfront cost. On the other side, you have a program that frames its higher cost as a long-term investment in safety, backed by data, and even potential insurance savings that could offset that price over time.
Okay, so we have all this information. Let's make it super practical. What does the actual path to getting a license look like for a family right here in Kleinburg?
Here's a pretty simple roadmap. It all starts with getting that G1 learner's permit. After that, you pick your training package, you book your lessons, and then, and this is so important, you use a tool like that Driver's Coach app to actually structure your practice sessions together before you finally go and schedule that G2 test.
And when it comes to the practice itself, listen, effective practice isn't just driving around with no plan. It needs to be strategic. Start in the quiet village streets, then graduate to the busier roads like Major Mackenzie. Then you have to specifically practice things like merging onto the 400, and make sure you get out there at night or even in the winter. That's how you build real, true competence.
And all of this brings us right back to where we started. Choosing a driving school is a balancing act, right? You're weighing cost, convenience, curriculum, but underneath all of that, there's a much more fundamental question that every parent has to answer for themselves. When it comes to the safety of your kid on the road, what is the real price of peace of mind?